Hello everybody. I'm very excited to show the XIM Assist Call of Duty configuration to all of you guys and help you guys customize it and then understand how everything works. I will walk you guys through my custom navigate mode, walk you guys through my settings and the config order, even show you how to change certain binds. I also want to make sure that you guys understand that this configuration is set up for CV. What does CV means? It's computer vision. I'm using Tropic Thunder's or aka Molly's script to do automatic anti-recalls in Call of Duty. If you want to use that, make sure to join Molly's server. A link is at the cloud page. And you're going to be good to go. If you need any of the things necessary, such as the word list or the weapons list, just contact me and I will be there to help you out free of charge. One last thing I want to mention is I'm having a heavy flu at the moment, so there might be any coughing, some disabilities in speaking, or whatever. And if this happens, just know I've gotten the flu. Anyways, we're going to walk through all of this. First of all, what I would like you guys to do is go over to the right, click on New Config, look for Black Ops, select Black Ops 6, select Xbox Series X, select mouse keyboard controller, or select a different thing if you're on PS5 or console, and click on New. Do this 6 times. Once you have done so, you're going to go back. You're going to go over to Manage Configs, and you're going to list them all out as shown here. The numbers show the order at which the configs need to be listed. In this case, you might not have 16 configs. So what will you do? You will create your configs, and if this is your very first config, you're going to move them all the way up so they're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have done that, I will show you in the video how to customize and set them up. Going over to the right, we click on the 3 dots and go to Global Settings. Please take a moment to pause the video and copy over these binds for double, tap, hold, tap action duration, and scroll input duration. These are very important for the config to work properly. Give a moment and copy them over. Awesome. Now, going over here to custom navigate mode. This is my custom navigate mode. This is what I use to have access to my mouse inside the game whenever I'm on PC. And it's the same thing I use on the console in order to change my configurations. When we're going over here, see the F6 key, keyboard, the activate at startup. All of these things are very important. Make sure to check this and then go to the first box, press the key you want to press for your navigate button, select it. Do the same for the second key. Once done, you only have to press this key in order to set it up. It might be that your config looks like this. It will be set to left bracket and right bracket. Again, here I recommend you will set it to 6 and do the same for the different button, but you might prefer something else. If you have a gamepad connected to port 3, because you might be on Xbox Series X, S, Xbox 360 or whatever Sim supports, or you are on PlayStation 4, make sure the gamepad auto activate is enabled. This will make sure that every time your sim boots up, it's in navigate mode and you've gotten access to your controller. If you have gotten a controller connected to your sim, you might also see buttons here. What I highly recommend is you set these buttons up accordingly. I'm not having the ability to show these right now, but in a different video on the channel, I will walk you guys more through the navigate mode. Let's go back. I'm not going to save this. And let's edit the configs. I'm assuming that at this stage, you've already created 6 Black Ops 6 configs for the Xbox Series X. And you have imported all of them, and they're listed either config number 1 through 6, which you can see going to the 3 dots and clicking on Manage Configs, or they're at the order 11 to 16. If you don't, make sure you're going to do so. Let's edit the configuration. Once again, I want to highlight that this video can take quite a little bit of time. So if you need to pause it or take some time to continue, feel free to do so. And before we start, if you have any questions, list them down in the comments or join my Discord server. and I will be there to help. As a heads up, I charge for text-based support in my Discord server and have a special channel, as well as giving you guys access to one-on-one support in which you get you're gonna get a 1-hour call in which I help you guys out with anything you need, whether that's customizing configuration, helping you get set up, doing all the binds for you so that you can just load the configs and start playing, or any of those things. $30 for the first hour, and after that $25 for any extra hour of help you need. Again, there is no necessity. These tutorials are very in-depth and will show you how to change anything by yourself. But if you do not want to spend the time and you just want to get quickly going, or you want to have access to my help, then I'm there to help. But again, just plug some stuff in the comments. I will see if I can help. Just keep them related to this video. Going over to editing config, I'm playing at 800 DPI. I highly recommend you will do so too. First things first, if you are on Xbox Series X, or you are on Xbox or on PS4, you're going to click on mouse, keyboard, controller. I'm going to change this to controller Xbox PS4. Change the update rate to 1000. I want to be really clear, however, if you are editing this config on your computer and not on the mobile phone, then go back over here and keep this mouse, keyboard, controller, and make sure your navigate mode is active. Moving over, if you're on PS5, you're going to go to the right, look for controller PS5, log in with your PlayStation account, and do so. If you're playing with a behavior or different device, just plug it in and follow the guides that are included with those devices on how to set it up. I do not own one of my own, so I would have no clue how to do any of this. Moving back over to mouse, keyboard, controller. Oh, and again, make sure the update rate on controller PS5 will be at 1000 right down here. Okay, moving back over to mouse, keyboard, controller. We will go over the binds. First of all, we've gotten the hip sensitivity. We're using synchronous, and in this case, for the Y scale 125, what this does, it handles how quickly your mouse moves up and down. I, for example, prefer to have my mouse sense kinda on par with how fast my mouse moves left and right. It allows me to do quick and easy tracking, and it feels all balanced. But you might prefer something different. A faster skill will allow you to more easily and quickly aim at something that's moving up and down. For example, players using zip lines or other things, or might be using a parachute. And other people might prefer a lower sense because they have a hard time doing any of this. Play around with this and see what you like the most. Do not use the quantization. It is not nice for Call of Duty. Curve here is my own aim assist curve. This is a curve we're only using for the hip. And what this does, it is a linear curve with a little boost on aim assist. I really want to thank RML for his continuous support on showing people how to do curves. And even though this is very simple, a lot of this I've been able to do by reading his topics. Moving over, we're going to go to the right. Or at least before I do, if your sense needs to be faster, lower this number. And if it needs to be slower, increase this number. Lower sense and faster sense doesn't always mean it's better. It might be that you're more easily detected by a shadow band. Players that are watching you will report you because your mouse looks too much like a computer and they know you're using something. So be careful with this. Moving over to the aim, I use a rather slow sense, so again, you can just lower this number to 27.5 or 37.5. On the curve, we're using a straight linear curve. This is a curve that Tropic Thunder Molly is using. I want to highlight that I'm using his CV script, which is a script that handles the anti-recalls. It allows me to just play the game, and the script will automatically recognize if I'm using a weapon. Let's say this weapon is a Jackal, an XM4, or a Tento. It will know and select the anti-recalls. If you want to use this, please join his Discord server. A link is provided on the cloud page. Moving on, we're going to go to the binds. I will be explaining all the binds in order, and once I'm done, I will be only explaining the recalls for the other configs, so that you know what to press to switch and what to press to enable it. Getting started, at the top we have gotten the general aim. This is what handles your camera movement. Do not change this. Do not change this to LS or anything. Leave this untouched. The left mouse button with the RT and the AA boost enables the aim assist boost. It's a special booster in this configuration. There's also going to be a left mouse button with a release that does the same thing. If you see any of those binds, you just know they will handle your aim assist boosters. Moving down, we've gotten the XIM4, the MS, rapid fire, and the map. Very clearly what this does. These are the recalls for your XIM4, your MS, and your rapid fire. If you're using any of those, and you most likely will see in the settings and aim guide what settings and attachments I'm using for these, but in general, what I recommend is you're having a ported compensator, you have gotten a precision grip, and you're using recoil springs. Combination of those things on any of the guns will help you get almost near perfect recoil on almost every single range. The rapid fire is active on weapons like the Goblin. Again, if you're not using the CV, you will have to press this button yourself. But if you do want to use the CV, go over to the server and buy the script. You might do need a KM box or a Titan. However, I recommend the KM box. Just to highlight, I am not making any money of this and I'm not promoting it, I'm just simply using it. And I really recommend you guys to do so, as I think it's pretty neat as you do not have to press any of those buttons. Moving down, the map button is not really a button you use, but I'm using this button specifically to turn down the recoil on this left mouse button whenever you're opening up the map. This will ensure that your map is not going to be shaking around. Some of you that might have used one of my configs before have seen the shake introduced by the configuration. This configuration, however, will have some shake, which you have to deal with, but by increasing your right stick dead zone, you can play around with that. You will see in the settings guide and the aim guide, the same video, how to do any of that. If it still feels too strong, edit this bind and lower this number right here to anything you prefer. And if that doesn't work, lower the 5 ms to either 2 or 3 ms for all of them in here. Moving down, we have gotten the auto ping. What this will do is whenever you're aiming at something and you click, you will auto ping. This is something, however, that will make you easily prone to a shadow ban. I'm leaving it in as it is a requested feature, but if you do not want to use this, you just go in here, click on the contents and delete the binding, or if you want to use it later, you change this from ADS only to inactive, and whenever you want to enable it again, just press on ADS only. Moving down, we have gotten the booster that I was talking about. Releasing the left mouse button will disable the aim assist booster. From now on, you see an AA boost pressed and the black part at the bottom with an arrow pointing up, it's enabling it. And if the bind has gotten an arrow pointing up at the icon of a bind, it will be stopping the aim assist. Then we've gotten 2 boosters that will handle your aim assist. They will make sure that whenever you hold this down, the aim will automatically move with the character. At the same time, this one at the top will automatically track enemies that are moving by. If you do not want that, you can simply disable the bind, delete it, or whatsoever. Moving over, we've gotten the right mouse button. In here, we've gotten LT and LS. What does this bind do? It will automatically hold the breath on a sniper. But if you're playing without a sniper, this bind will not be active, it will only aim. If you do not want to use it, simply click on the content, click on the LS, click the little X to remove it. We've gotten another aim assist booster, which is a simple magnitude and blue things. I like to do analog boosters, which you see here, which is the right stick, and then right stick magnitudes. You find these all the way at the bottom by clicking on the 3 dots, and we got a magnitude and an angle, and you can play around with this. If you like more info on that, simply join my Discord server and ask me. I'm happy to help you out. And all of that stuff is a passion, so don't worry about having to pay. I will just give you some general information. If you ever would like to play with some unique boosters for some of your plans, you can decide to get one-on-one support, and I'm happy to help you out. Awesome. Moving down, we have gotten a side mouse button back with an X. This is my interact button. I can imagine you might be using the default binds. I, however, have across any game I play the exact same binds. They may differ with actions, but it's the exact same binds. If you want to change this to, let's say, F, you click on the icon on the left and change this to F by simply pressing the F key. It will highlight it and you're good to go. Moving down, we've gotten a shield button or plate button. This is what I use to plate. Again, this might be G, so you will click here and press G. And you're good to go. Now we've gotten my YY. I like to be able to YY, but I don't like to press or hold a button. You might want to change this, and if you do, you click on here, change it to your button, go into the contents, and change this to held, and you're good to go. However, I like to scroll it up every time I do a YY. This will perfectly YY, no problem, and it will enable the aim assist boosters. Scroll down is my jump button. Again, here you might want to change this. If you do, click the thing, change it to space. Clicking space might not work, it might screw up. So just scroll down until you find the space button. And once you've found it, click the space button wherever it may be, and you should be good to go. The only thing you want to make sure you do is click on the contents and change the arrow that's pointing down right below the icon to held, so that you're able to hold it down or to press it. It doesn't really matter, but I do recommend those kind of things. Then right here, you see scroll down with the D-pad down. This is for your kill streaks. If you do not want to use this, simply click it, scroll down and delete the binding. What does this allow you to do is whenever you hold down your kill streak button and you scroll down, you're able to scroll through your available kill streaks and select the one you want to select. Then simply release the kill streak button and it will be selected. The A key will move your rotational binds. This is just to simply move left, and it will boost rotational boosters. Stuff you do not have to worry about. The one thing you cannot change is the WASD key. This is set up for LS. This is a bind that you might be wanting to use, or it might be different. If it needs to be different because you're using an SRun or whatever, feel free to let me know in my Discord server. I might be adding an update in which the SRun config will be available, and in which we will look in ways at which we can make the parachute more easily accessible. Moving down, we've gotten the D key, again having a rotational movement booster, and C is holding down and handling your map. Again, if your map button is different, change this C to your map button. If this is M, simply press it, press M on the keyboard to highlight the button, and simply enable it. Do not change any of these contents. What these contents do is will enable the map group, and it will make sure that any shake on the map is going to be gone. Let's say you're streaming, you do not want to have any shake on the map. That gives away that you're, boosting aim assist. I already know all the people that might be watching this video and that are not using a Zim will tell me how bad I am or how much of a bot I am. But as many of us that use a Zim or Cronus or anything know, we do not want to look sus. So make sure you keep this the same. Then we've gotten the E button, which is my grenade, my frag. The F key is a melee button. I hold down this key, I will start spam meleeing, like I can keep meleeing, or for example, equip my knife, and at the same time, I can start using this to do a finisher. If I press F, I will start getting someone as a shield. I can take them hostage. Q is my tactical. And now, very important, if I press R, I will reload my weapon. But you might be playing on a console, and you do want to be able to press your reload button. This is currently set up for the mouse and keyboards, in which I want to be able to press R, and whenever I press R, I want to be able to only reload. I do not want to have any interference of me accidentally interacting or whatsoever. Simply change the R to the X and you will be good to go. Again here, if you're on keyboard, keep this as R. This will allow you to reload and you will not be accidentally interacting with a weapon and equipping it or whatever. In the aim and settings guide, you will see my in-game settings, and we will go over everything that might be important. Z is my push to talk button. If you're having this as the default button, go over here, change it to Z, and at the same time, click on the content and change also this button to Z. It will be on the 4th tab. Moving down, and just as a thing, if you're on console, you can simply delete this bind and just put your voice to voice activation. V is my select fire, W my movement up button, 1 and 2 are my buttons to switch. Again, if those buttons are different from yours and you might want to add the scroll wheel or the scroll wheel up for changing the button, you can simply scroll all the way down, click the plus key, scroll up or scroll down, or simply select scroll up and down, and select the Y on the 1st tab, and you will be able to use it as a weapon switch. Moving back up, we can see that by holding or pressing X, we can use our kill streak, or not the kill streak, our field kit, my bad. And whenever we are at 3, we can use the kill streak. Pressing 3 and holding 3 will enable the group, and releasing the button will select our kill streak. This is all pre-set up. If you do not want to use it, simply change those buttons, delete those buttons, or if you're using a different kill streak button, make sure to change all 3 of those. I've gotten 4 in the config. None of this is necessary, but I like to have an extra button on the computer in order to press get to my melee weapon. Again, it is not necessary. You can simply delete this binding or change it to your binding. Now to the important stuff, the function keys. F1 enables the XIM4 in this config. F2 DMS. F3 in any config will switch to config 3. This is set to config 13, but this will be the hashtag 3, so the 3rd configuration. If you are playing, I've changed this to all these 6 configs to config 1 through 6. You go in here and you will remove the 1. So 13 will become 3. And you're doing this for all the configurations. Pressing F4 will enable your rapid fire in every config. Pressing F5 will load config 14. Pressing F7 will load config 15. Again, this is config 4 and config 5. F8 will load config 16. So just make sure if you're having your config order at 1 through 6, then it's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3. The dot you do not touch. This is the button that handles your aim assist booster. Do not touch this, don't worry about it. Just keep it in there. The reverse quote, the button below the escape key, left of the 1 key, and above the tab key is my parachute button. Again, this might be different for you, so just change it and you're good to go. You can use this same button when using the Archangel inside multiplayer. Space is my ping key. You might have changed your space key, you might scroll down to space and decided to jump with space. This means you've gotten a D-pad up and a button to ping. You're going to change this D-pad up to your ping button. The tab key is your inventory, don't worry about it. The escape key opens your inventory, but the caps lock key, simply pressing this key inside the game, will allow you to see the scoreboard instantly. Left control will let you instantly prone, and for this I have to give some credits to RML, which added this to his Black Ops 6 configuration, which has been very useful for me whenever I wanted to get some binds in that I thought were useful for people to be used, and this one is very useful. So if you want to instantly prone, you press left control. Again, you can change this to whatever you prefer. Left shift is the hold aim button. Again, if you've gotten this removed from the right mouse button, then it's going to be left shift, or if it's already there, keep the left shift in just to be sure. Left alt is my crouch key, and also is my slide cancel key. In here, if you want to have 2 keys, let's say left alt needs to be left control as you crouch with left control, and you want your slide cancel to be on C, then change these 2 binds right here. the left alt with the contents of the red and blue. This is an aim assist booster for slide cancelling. And change the slide cancel button to C. And you will be good to go. The last thing, very important, make sure the close map button, this button, is set to the bind you press for crouching. If that is left control, then you're changing the left alt with the B button, and you're changing the left alt that has the group map and the little press. You change both of these to your crouch button. This will leave you with your config set up. Again, going up really quickly, we have gotten a set of binds, map changes to M, and you're good to go. This is the general setup for the customization. I'm really quickly going to talk about the other config loads to show you what weapons those are, but feel free to skip off or stop watching. Again, if you need any help right now, in the future, or whatsoever, feel free to comment it down on the video. If you do not like what we are doing with XIM, let us know as well. I enjoy reading negative comments of people hating on why we might be bad players or why we can play or any of these kind of things. I myself have a disability, so I don't really care. I'm doing this for the fun, and I'm doing this to be able to play games. I'm not the best player, but whatsoever, let me know how bad I am. Again, if you need any help, feel free to join the Discord server. A link is in the description of the video and on the cloud page. And you can contact me via the comments if you need any additional help or one-on-one support, or you might like to have your configuration set up for you. You don't want to run through these 25 to 30, 35-minute videos, and you already just want to be right good to go. You just want, load the configs and you can play. You can settle down for a one-on-one call. It's $30 for your first session, 30 euros for your first session of an hour. At the same time, you can have access to a Get Help forum where you can ask questions with things you may need help with. If you, however, need any additional help after this hour, it is 25 euros per session. Just to get that out there. Again, the configurations are free. All the updates for the configurations are free, and I will make sure to make tutorials like these that are very detailed and explain everything you might need to know in order to set up your configurations. Before I continue on with the last part, I just want to highlight again that I'm very thankful for RML to show me stuff like curves and how to do these kind of things. And for the binds on Instant Prone, I want to thank Molly Tropic Thunder for his recalls and to work together on doing this and getting that set up, especially also his CV script. Even though I had to pay for it and I'm not making any money by saying, you guys need to get it, getting yourself a KM box or a Titan and having perfectly fine anti-recalls all automatic on the console and the PC is very nice. I shall be having my capture card pretty soon, at which I will be using for the settings guide, so the audio is clean and the sound, and at the same time I can do my recalls. Again, I'm very excited to do more and show you guys more about these kind of things. This is the XIM Assist config, and I hope you guys enjoy. And last thing that I want to state before I go, and I know this video is getting kind of long, is again join the Discord server, and thank you guys very much. Let's move over to the last few binds, and then we shall be good to go. Let's go back, go over to the three dots, load a config, and load the PC SMG #2. Every config will state whether it has SMGs or ARs or LMGs inside of them. Going over here, we can see that the second config is hosting the C9, the KSV, and the Ttitle. Keys to press on this config are F1 for C9, F2 for KSV, and F4 for Ttitle. Again, we're loading the configs with F3, F5, F7, F8, and F11. Make sure again to change these to the right orders. So config 3 is F3, and config 4 is F5, config 7 is F15, config 15 is F7, config 16 is F8, config 11 is F 11. Again, very easy to do. Whenever you're using Molly's script and you're getting set up with his script, just remember that you can contact me in the Discord, and free of charge I will provide you with all the things you need in order to get this config working with his CV script. Moving over to config 3. This script hosts the model, the quick, and the GPR, some of my favorite weapons. Again here, F1 handles the model, F2 the quick, and F4 the GPR. I will not get back into those keys, just remember to change those to your appropriate keys. Loading config 4. This is SMGs and ARs. We're currently using here the FAL, the PP919, and the Jekyll. The keys for those are F1 for the FAL, F2 for the PP919, and F4 for the Jekyll. Loading config 5. In here we have gotten the AK-74, the Compact, and the SOG. Again, your order is going to be the same. F1, AK-74, Compact, F2, and F4, the SOG. Loading the last and final config, the LMG one. This one hosts only LMGs, which is the PU21, the GPMG, the XMG, and you're good to go. These again are F1 for the PU21, F2 for the GPMG, and F4 for the XMG. Again, remember, if you're not using the CV method, to remember the keys you need to press to load the appropriate config, and which key you need to press to load the appropriate recall. They will work perfectly fine. If you need any additional help, again, I want to highlight you can simply join my Discord server or leave it down in the comments. If you need one-on-one help, would like to get into a call, or you would like to get the config just set up for you, so all you have to do is press the play button and you can start beaming. You can simply book a one-on-one call with me for 30 euros for your first session and 25 euros for any session after that. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to move over to the settings and aim guide and watch that through. It is very valuable. You're going to see your in-game settings, which is pretty normal. You're going to see the in-game binds, but you're also going to get a guide on how to aim and get most out of the config, both for normal play and competitive play. Again, thank you guys a lot. If some of the haters or people that are against XIM or Cronus or whatever device have watched this and be like, hey, I want to hate on this guy, feel free to send it my way. I'm happy to see it. Just know that each comment you plug under my video is only going to contribute to more visibility. So being hateful and stuff, to me, is very fun to read, and I will definitely respond back to you. But at the same time, you will be promoting the video and it will get seen by more people. If you are not or interested in, you're not having a XIM or you're interested in doing so, make sure to head over to xim.tech and get yourself a XIM. The device is $125. It's pretty neat, pretty nice, and hey, you get aim assist on mouse and keyboards. Also, for people like me with a handicap, it's a pretty neat device in order to be able to play the game again. Without the device, I am not able to game because I'm shaking too heavily in my hands. I'm having a special wristband which will calm it down a little bit, but I'm simply not able to hold a controller or be able to move my mouse at a smooth speed because of the shaking, because of damaged muscle tissue. So again, for me, it's pretty neat. For you, it might be as well, whether you have a disability or simply want to have an edge in the game. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the settings and aim guides video. Again, thanks and good luck.